Next question.
Yes, in your opening remarks, you made the statement, you said which heavenly realm you will go to, inferring that there are others, and you've piqued my curiosity. Would you comment on that, please?
There are two different heavenly realms, or two different states of existence for you when you leave the material manifestation. The original, that was planned by the divine when he saw that his creations weren't doing what they should, was what is referred to, or what we refer to as the God-made heavenly realms. There you exist in a state of evolvement that is quite alien to the word structure or the vocabulary that man has. There's no way of truly describing it except in terms that may prove somewhat confusing, such as existing in a true conscious state that you really are, and in other words, not utilizing the illusion of a physical body or limits. Only in the spirit level of the God-made heavenly realms does an entity utilize the illusion of a physical body only to better understand the consequences of the entity's action. Once they move beyond that level, then they are in sufficient development to be able to realize and utilize the true being they are, and that is a conscious state being without a physical body or without physical limitations as you understand it. They are then able to merge with other conscious state beings in complete union and unison without losing their unique personality or their individualized personalities. This sharing that goes on, or this merging that goes on, actually makes your personality that much more unique, because then you become aware of all that the other individual has or has learned, and those become properties of yourself. And of course, when you move from the angelic level then into the celestial level, this whole activity is magnified thousands upon thousands of times, so that you are not only a conscious state being and you fully accept it, you fully utilize it, but you also realize the full creative potential that lies within each and every one of you. And you exercise that for the good of all. These exercises in godliness then move to the other levels that are below the celestial level. And so it is a total giving and sharing of all the entities in the God-made heavenly realms. The other realm that was created by all of you and your predecessors, or from the beginning of man's history, is what we call the man-made heavenly realms. There, those realms develop according to man's conscious beliefs, so that once you make entrance there, you enter in on the spiritual level. You are very much involved in the physical illusion. Your life is reviewed over and over again. You are very intently involved in those review processes, and you see it as a reliving of your life. Once you move beyond that, then you go into the next level, the guidance level. You then begin to have to cooperate with other entities there, some that you have lived with in a particular lifetime, others who you have not lived with. You must then live according to your belief systems that you have created in the previous lifetime. A simple explanation. If you were a Baptist, then you would have to live according to those standards, or some variation of it, depending on how good of a Baptist you were, in those realms. So there would be many individuals who would be of like thought and like belief. There you would have to work through that process, that belief system, and then eventually work to an area or a realization where you could accept reincarnation. At that point then, you would have to evaluate the available situations to see if they would be of service to you, and then hope that you would have the opportunity to reincarnate. Does that answer the question?
Well, kind of.
It's a bit much for one shot, but what seems to need clarification?
I'd like to thank the council for that. I guess the clarification that I'm asking for is the astral realm. Is that of our creation, and is that not part of the heavenly realm?
Well, astral realms, those terms are just terms. Those are words put on experiences that all of you have at one time or another in your life, but that doesn't make the area that firm or that real. There are many philosophies that say you travel in the astral realm, or when you die, part of you goes to the astral. This is all man's concept. When you die, you either go to one heavenly realm or the other heavenly realm. There, you will go through a state of existence that will allow you to reevaluate your life. Astral realms are really the simplest way to explain the evolvement of an astral realm is that it is a state of consciousness that some people experience. And in their inability to explain it, or their inability to realize what they have experienced, they like to dress up with tags and names and what have you. So it is actually a state of consciousness, not a state that you exist in after you leave the material manifestation. You must remember that all true spiritual realities, all spiritual truths are manifested in all the major religious concepts of man through the very beginning of time. The problem that arises is that one man will call the same thing by one name, while the other man will be talking about the same thing and use a different name. And the arrogance and the self-centeredness of these people cause them to argue and feel as though they are not discussing the same thing. So what part of our task is to help you realize that many times, many different belief systems talk about the same thing using different terminology. So it is actually a matter of semantics. A matter of semantics. Very well, the next question.